Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are at Mercedes World. So this is Brooklands, it's down in like Weybridge, Surrey area. I'm back in London obviously. The weather is terrible, it's freezing cold. But I'm here because you guys know I've been saying in the previous videos that I am going to be buying a Mercedes. I haven't said what it is, but I'm here to look at a few things because I'm finalizing a couple of details at the moment right now. So I wish I could show you this place because it's pretty cool. For those who haven't been to Mercedes World, it's got a track, it's got like experience stuff that you can do. You can take cars out onto the track. It's got a skid pan where you can go around and do like drifting, and it's got a ridiculous amount of stuff in there. I wish there was a way that I could show you this from the sky. If only I had.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I hope that gave you a good view of where we are today, the track and everything else. So we're done with the drone, let's put that away. Luckily no one told us off. Oh, and by the way, today I'm here in the E-Class, which is the courtesy car, thanks to Lamborghini. My car is back now, so I'm returning this today, but it's made me fall in love with Mercedes even more. Let's go inside because it is freezing. So Mercedes Benz World is cool before we start looking at the cars because they've got this like bit in the middle which is like a kind of like a museum basically. So they've got things like AMG GTS, SLS is here. They had an AMG GTR downstairs, the old Gullwing ones as well downstairs as well. Was it the 300 SL, was it?
Yeah,
300 SL, which is like £1 million. So it's quite cool if you come around here. It takes you into a little bit of like the history of the cars. So like I said, AMG GTS and going back in the history, SLS around here, CLK, is this no SL55 with all the SLs? And then what looks like an old E-Class. So you can keep going up and round, and there's more of the bits out there. The track's out there, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the skid pan. And then out there, they've got an actual track as well. But we're here to look at cars. So I'm gonna start looking at kind of the options and the things that I'm looking at. And then I need you guys to help me out. So I'm gonna need you to start commenting below as well and tell me, I'm in Mercedes Benz World, which car, if any of these Mercedes, should I be picking as my next daily? You know it's replacing the Range Rover, so just tell me what you think. Okay, so the first car to look at, which everybody's been talking about, probably I think the most suggested, is the G-Wagon. A lot of you know, I think there's a new one coming out in the next few weeks or months or no, I don't know the exact dates, but I know there's a new one coming out. But the G-Wagon is a big option, and I don't know, it's a love or hate car. Personally, I think it looks really cool, but like most people say, it is terrible to drive. Now, because this is going to be a daily car for me and not something I'm just going to prance around and to show off, it's not going to be practical, I don't think. The driving is terrible. It's got a terrible turning circle. It's cool, but it's clunky. And to be honest, it's quite expensive as well. So this one up here, I think is G350. It says 92 grand. They're probably going to dip slightly in value with the newer ones coming out. So it's cool, but I don't think so. I don't know. Let me know if you think I should, but I don't think it's going to be that good as a daily. So one of the common suggestions was a GLE. Now this one over here is a GLE 43 AMG, which, how much is it, Blue?
92, yeah.
Which is nearly expensive as G-Wagon, but obviously this is the 43 AMG version. I think it looks cool, let's have a look at it. It does look cool, but to me, I think that it looks more like a mouse. So the rear section over here, to me it looks like a big mouse, which is kind of similar to the X6s, I think it is, that have this kind of curve down at the back. Not the biggest fan, but I don't know. Let's jump in the other one and have a look inside. So, GLE interior. Now, most Mercedes are going to be pretty similar in the interiors. The only difference is that some of them have bigger screens. This one's got a smaller screen here, which some of the other ones do. The interiors are so good, so that's not anything I'm going to complain about. It's got all the kind of features that you'd want. I love the mood lighting, which you'll see in some of the other cars. But the problem with me with this is honestly in the back, it doesn't have any space at all. So let's jump in the back and I'll show you what I mean. So this is the problem that I have. Check this out. Now that seat, to be honest, is not actually as far forward as it looks. I mean, far back as it looks. If I was sitting there, I wouldn't have it too much further forward, I don't think. And I'm not the tallest person in the world, but just look at this. There's hardly any space here. The roof as well at the back. Yeah, not sure on the GLE for practicality. Looks okay, but I don't think this is gonna work. we're in the AMG section now, which is probably of most interest to most of you guys. Over here we've got the GTC, around about 150 grandish, so I'm not too sure if that's something that I really want to be spending with the Aventador and everything as well. I don't think this car will get much use, but it does look pretty cool and it's pretty nice inside. However, what I am interested in, and something that I do want to look at, is that over there. I'm going to be blocked by that child, but it doesn't matter, let's go and have a look. This is the E63S. Now, I know one person who's got this, a friend of mine, who doesn't say anything bad about the car. This looks amazing as well. I think this has got some Magneto paint or something. They've improved these cars so much. This car's not open again, but we can go down to the sales suite and check it out in a second. But honestly, it's this car and the one around here that I want to look at. Now, tell me what you think about these two cars, because honestly, I think the station wagon, or the estate, looks even better than the saloon car. Performance, don't even talk about this thing. This thing is beating like some supercars as well. About 109 grand for a brand new car, and that's spec'd with this with a pretty expensive paint option. It just looks so good. Like, the lights are one of my favorite parts of the car. And on these as well, when you start them up, this light over here kind of glows a dark blue and then it slowly disappears. The styling looks amazing. It looks aggressive, but at the same time can still be kind of pass, and it's not like too crazy and standing out on the road. This back here, I think you definitely got to go for the black pack. So a lot of these cars don't have it, I don't know why, but this one does, so full black pack on the wing mirrors and everything. So tell me what you think. I do really like this car. Let's have a few close-up looks, but I do really like this car, so let me know what you think. This is a car I didn't even know existed. This is the GLA 45. Now, I knew about the A45s, so apologies if people are going to shout at me because they're like, Anish, you should know about this car. But this is basically just like a little bigger version of the A-Class, which honestly I think is perfect, because the A-Class to me, again at the back, the space just wasn't there. And this and the styling and everything looks like amazing. It's got like this kind of satin black stripe around there. It's got all the yellow detailing around there. And you know I like yellow, but maybe also red as well, detailing all around it. But this looks pretty cool, and it's a good size as well. This is about 56,000. This one's spec new, so the price is not too bad. But yeah, I didn't even know this car existed. So the GLA, which I was just talking about now, is around about 56 grand, as I mentioned. What's really confusing to me is for 6 grand less, you get obviously the A45. If it was me, I don't know why you'd get that car. This is so much better, literally 6 grand more. So I don't know why you go for that one, to be honest. This one is really cool. So one thing to remember, kids, if you're coming to Mercedes Benz World with your parents, be careful, because if your parents have got small fingers, they'll be very careful with the elevators. So coming here down into the sales suite, I wanted to talk about a few of the cars that we looked at. Come down here, I was introduced to a salesperson called David Hamilton, and I don't mind saying his name because honestly it was probably the worst experience I've ever had in a dealership, ever. Probably thought that I was coming in here and maybe mucking around when I'm looking at cars, and you guys know what my car history is. But he basically asked me what kind of deals you've been offered on certain other cars, and I gave him an idea. He says, fine, if I match that for you, are you just going to order it right now? Basically kind of pushing me for an order. I said, listen, I want to look at used cars. I don't want to just look at new cars. Compare them because I don't know full models and all the different engines. Honestly, the worst experience ever. I've just spoken to the manager, and I'll obviously feed this back as well to Mercedes, but terrible service to start off with. Doesn't make you want to buy a car from here. I'm going to have a quickly look at an S-Class now because it was closed, so they're going to bring it around for me to have a look. But yeah, Mercedes Benz World, not impressive at all. And here is the final option, so the Mercedes S-Class. This is the 350D. This is one of the options of the cars I'm looking at as well. I think this might be quite high up in my choice of the one that I think I do want to get. And this is the new facelift one, so I'm looking at the facelift and also the used ones, but we're looking at all the other cars here today as well. But they had this one here, so I thought, let's have a look at it. Sorry about the train noise. I love this car a lot. I am looking for something where potentially somebody can drive me in as well, so this is quite useful for that, which the other ones may not fit in. And I'm not too fussed about the performance versions, but I know there's a lot that you can do with this car to make it look super cool. Let's jump inside and have a look, because this is my favorite part. So this is what I love about this car. The rear is so nice. It's kind of everything that I want, I feel, in a car that would be a daily, but also that can be driven at the same time, because they're fantastic cars, great engines, move pretty quick as well. I think 0 to 60 on some of these cars like 5-6 seconds. To be honest, this is the real selling point for me. The mood lighting, everything else that goes with it. This is something that I do really like. Do you think this is something that I should get? Having a look at some of the other options that we've had a look at today, this could potentially be the one. I do love this interior. I'm not sure, I'm still undecided, but I need to make a decision in literally the next couple of weeks. So you guys know the Range Rover is going, that's what I'm replacing. But I could feel like I could see myself in this car. Let me know what you think. Right guys, so I'm done here at Mercedes World. It was good fun looking around all the cars. Not good to have that experience with that one salesman who I've mentioned already. I didn't want to show his face or anything because I think that's probably not fair. I know it's not the biggest deal, but a lot of the times when you're going in to buy a car, you kind of want a level of service, especially when you're spending a lot of money. To be fair, the person they introduced me afterwards into Zach was very, very helpful. Showed me around the cars, gave me full options, and showed me a lot of cars that are potentially there ready to buy. So that's pretty good. Sorry about the noise. Somebody always wants to make noise when we're filming. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all the other bits. But please remember to also comment and tell me what out of all the cars you've seen do you think would be the perfect daily of what I want to do with the car. And you guys know, like I've said, replacing the Range Rover. So do all the other bits, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.